how do you fight the negative voices inside your head, even if you know it's only in your head? So I think it's already great that you already know it's in your head and not just you believe it to be true. I'm so glad that you were asking that question, because it is our thoughts and our patterns and the way we think. It comes from whatever we soak in, whatever we experience. So I feel like if you have so much negative self-talk in the mind, the only way to really quiet it down is stillness. Instead of all that negative self-talk, you replace it with positive affirmations. Not only that, but you replace it with meditation, with hanging out with people who actually inspire you, with creating, with your art. You have to replace all that with the negative self-talk. And I understand that the negative self-talk can be so much that you can't bear it anymore, but there's just so much positives that we don't realize because we're not in the right mindset. And what I need you to do is stay in the right mindset as long as you can. It's okay if you have to jump out of that positive mindset for a while, because I'm telling you, in life we need moderation. You have to feel both feelings of all the good and all the bad, or you won't have balance in your life. Focusing on all the good is not necessarily good either, because you're not acknowledging the truth or being honest with yourself. So to be honest with yourself, you have to ask those dark things about you. You know, whether it's self-doubt, whether it's you don't feel supported, whether it's you feel like you are alone in this world. These are all feelings of darkness that every single person has, especially my artists, because we just think very differently than other people. We think with our heart. And I don't think it's a bad thing, because I think when you are in that mindset that you want to be in, because you are absorbing all the good information, all the good wisdom, all good books. A lot of books help me get out of my negative self-talk. Doing spiritual readings help me get out of my negative self-talk. These are all little things that heal me. So what you have to do is find things that heal you, find things that make you happy, and make sure you include that in your life, and make sure you make that number one, because you are number one. And therefore, doing things that make you happy, make you feel appreciative, that change your perspective on life, that give you, learning and more growth and more evolution. That is what you need to be surrounded by. I understand that life is so stressful and there are deadlines you have to do, especially if you're in school. I get it. But you have to try your best to manage everything, and I just really recommend allowing a slot of time for each thing you're doing, and physically keep track of what you're doing. Like, maybe start bullet journaling. You don't have to make it pretty, you don't have to make it anything like that. All you do is you just record what you do that day. Maybe put a mood if you felt happy that day, sad that day. So within that week, and then within weeks, and then within a month, you can look at your progress. I also do one for the habits that I want to work on, like consistently doing my teeth treatment, consistently doing spiritual readings, because I've seen that when I don't do my spiritual readings, which are practically positive affirmations, and also they're very blunt, so they tell you, and then it just makes you more aware of your darkness. It's literally a form of introspection. Then I just write down everything I learned. Every month, I just look back at it. I look back at my progress, because one thing you can't ignore, all this negative bullshit talk, it's false. It's a false reality, but it's there to either push you, or it's there to make you feel scared, to make you feel fear. And we cannot live in fear, because love is more powerful than fear. And it's going to take a lot of love on your part, on your friends' part, on people who support you. That whole system, you need to build your systems and not focus on goals. That's a huge thing I have to talk about. Because when you build a system, which is like bullet journaling, that's a system I built for myself to keep on track of my habits. And if I'm not doing anything that day, I'll say I have a rest day. And so when I look back at my little bullet journal every month, I'm like, okay, good, I had balance that month. And then if last month was not balanced at all, the next month, and I'll have to be like, stop working, stop hustling, and just rest, and create by yourself. Stop being around people. Sometimes I need that little isolation period to work up my creativity again, because it's literally, creativity is great, guys, but I'm not gonna lie, it sucks you dry. And I don't think a lot of artists say that, because they're like, oh, creativity is so beautiful and so wonderful, but it sucks you dry physically and mentally, because you're literally depleting yourself, because you're putting everything about you, about your art, up front, and that's your top priority. And I read this book, and I also love that feeling of just going so hard for myself, and then I just completely deplete myself, which is called a burnout. And then I rest for a couple days, and then I feel better, and then I can do it all again. That's also something you need to keep track of, is what kind of burnout do you experience it? Is it medium? Is it really bad? If it's really bad, you have to take a hiatus, you have to take a break, but you have to keep check of it. And if you don't hold yourself accountable, you will never get to be where you want to be. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of physical and mental work on top of everything you already have. And I know it sounds like a lot, but it is worth it, because you are putting your talents to the world. You are creating with your heart and soul, and it's something that you love and you don't want to give up. And it's literally why you live. And I think it's worth it, but you just have to know that when you hit that depletion line, you have to take care of yourself. You have to say no. You have to have strong boundaries with yourself and other people. If you have a full plate, don't say you can do something. Do not say it. Be like, honest with them. You know what? I have a full plate. I have to work on this. I have to work on this. I don't have time to work on this. But, maybe in the future, when I don't have a full plate, we can talk about it. So you have to leave things open, including with people in your life. Just leave it open. You don't always have to see your friends every single day. If people want to come into your life, let them. If people want to leave, let them. Don't force anything, guys. Do not force anything, because that intensity, that feeling of force, it drives more negative self-talk if you're forcing something that shouldn't have happened. So just keep following your intuition. Keep learning every single day. Keep studying every single day. That knowledge, that mind that you're in, that feeling when you're doing something and then time passes and you're like, what the hell happened? That is what you want as an artist. Just be so lost in your work and forget about time. You forget about those negative self-talks, So be into your art 100%, but know that there is a dark side to art. I believe art is such a tool to heal, as long as you use it with meaning and purpose. So as long as you're doing that, you are going to be fine. Every day is not going to be a good day. Some days you're going to have bad days, but you know what? Like I said, get over it. The next day is coming. Focus on that day. Focus on creating that system for that day. And yeah, you have to put in the work every single day. You cannot be lazy about something like this, because it is your mental health, And that means you have to take extra care of it compared to another person who doesn't, have mental health illness. It's different. Like with Yali Kusama, I just found her story so inspiring, and the art she makes inspires me because it's just so beautiful. And I think these people are beyond gifted. Maybe that's why they have mental illness. I don't know, but I'm just so shook at her work and what she has accomplished. And I suggest you find artists like that who inspire you. And I know I'm not saying oh, it's great that you have a mental illness, but I'm saying there can be something beautiful about it. As much as there's something bad about it, there's something beautiful about it, because anything that was once bad can be good, and anything that was once good can be bad. So it's just literally the perception of how you see it and how you view yourself. You got this, and I'm so glad that you are brave enough to ask a question like this for me to answer. I may not be right, but that's something you have to figure out with whatever I say. Really think about what people say. Don't just believe every word someone says to you. You have to form your own opinion. And that in itself gives you more confidence to believe in your values and stand up for them. So it's a lot of work on your part, but trust me, it's fun. It's fun if you make it fun to heal yourself as part of a journey and not just a destination. Like, I'm healed, I'm done. It doesn't work that way. You're never completely healed, but you can get closer and closer. And then when you feel almost completely healed, you will definitely realize that this whole process is going to be worth it, you know? And yeah, I think that's all I want to say. Especially if you want to stay an artist, this is what every artist goes through. Not everyone talks about it, but it's literally what we go through and why we go so hard for our art that other people will just never understand. So I'm so proud that you are an artist, and I am so proud to live this artist life because it is so rewarding in the most unexpected ways.